Okay, I told you that pH is a logarithmic scale, right? So pH is the concentration of hydrogen atoms in a solution, okay, in moles per liter, but yada yada yada, right? Not that you guys know what that is, but so basically we calculate pH with that formula. Okay, so H plus is that concentration of hydrogen atoms in the solution in moles per liter. Okay. So when we're looking at some of these, what is the base of that log? We already went over that. 10, right? Because it's not written.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is base 10. That's a common log. Okay, base 10 is the common logarithm. That's what we call it. And you know where that is on your calculator, right? On the left side it says log.
How do you change the base again?
Okay, we're going to get to that tomorrow. Officially, we already went over
Write
it.
it down in our notes.
So, when you calculate pH, plug in, and you get a number from, what's the pH scale from?
0
to
14.
14, right? Neutral? What is this one here?
Acidic.
Okay, acid,
Base.
base. What else are those called?
Chemistry. What?
Alkaline?
Alkaline?
Yep. You can call that base alkaline, right?
Oh.
All right, so just keep in mind that's one use of common logs. We already talked about earthquakes, right? In circles?
Yeah.
Well, the Richter scale is also a logarithmic scale. Okay. So the Richter scale for earthquakes. Right, so when they measure earthquake, they measure them in joules. Okay, it's just it's a measurement of energy. So you might get some earthquake with this much power behind it, right? Well, instead of saying that earthquake was 10 million joules powerful, or whatever they would call it, right? We calculate the log of that. Okay, and how many, what's the log of this? That's 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this, the Richter scale number would actually be 7, a little more friendly, isn't it?
Yeah.
So a magnitude 7 earthquake actually has a really big number attached to it in terms of physics. Okay.
7.
10 to the 7th is 10 million, right? Okay, what if I have a magnitude 8 earthquake?
100 million.
Is how many times powerful?
10 million times.
No.
No.
If you have a
10.
log that gives you 7 and a log that gives you 8, it's times 10. So you move from a 7 to an 8, you're 10 times more powerful. Okay, 8 to a 9, 10 times more powerful. Okay. How many of you have been in an earthquake?
There's one in Rangeley when we were.
Do you know how? Do you know what magnitude it was?
No. It was pretty tiny.
Yeah,
Do any of you know what magnitude earthquake you've been in at all? Anybody? You can look it up. Have you seen the USGS site?
When I was like really little in Rangeley.
It would shock you to see how many earthquakes there are daily on this planet.
My mom was just in one in California like
I want to be.
Okay, so well, when we lived in Alaska, we were in a magnitude 5. Okay. Magnitude 5. Alaska has experienced a magnitude 9. How many times more powerful is that?
A lot more.
6, 7, 8, 9. 10 to the 4th.
10,000.
It was 3.8 in the one in Rangeley.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, 10 to the fourth is 10,000. Okay. Do you want me to show you that website?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, actually.
Yeah,
It's got like searches on it. You can see.
it's like real time.
Pretty close.
It's pretty.
Don't.
Close.
There's the most recent.
Did they die?
It was a couple
Did they
of
die?
I don't know. They like lived in Montana and they had just.
Okay, here it is. Wow. There's the U.S.
Man.
Okay, so at 1341 Universal Time, okay, that's
141.
I don't know what time that is here.
Why is there one so far inland? Like, why do we get that?
See how it shows you the little dot?
Yeah.
That big dot's going to be a bigger earthquake.
Where's the big one? There's a big one.
There's a bigger dot. It's a bigger earthquake.
Where's the biggest one?
Okay. And they actually keep track of the entire world. Where do you notice all the earthquakes are occurring?
Ring of fire.
On the.
Not all of them.
On the plates.
Yeah, tectonic plate zones, right? The induction or reduction zones.
How do they have
Oh, how
this?
did-
How did we figure out where these tectonic plates were?
Oh, yeah, so there's, where was this one? Oklahoma. Since hydraulic fracturing started to extract oil and gas, Oklahoma has seen like 100-fold increase in earthquake activity. Because what they do, like you sink a well, if the well's losing pressure, one thing they can do is sink another well over here and inject water into it to push the fluid out, the rest of the oil and gas out. Or, you know, all wells produce water, toxic water. Where are you going to put it?
In the ground.
Well, basically what they do is they take that to old oil and gas wells and they inject it. So water is a pretty good lubricant. And when you got ground that's, you know, got some friction in there and you lube it, it tends to slide. Okay, so one of the theories is that those hydraulic fracturing wells and injection wells are causing earthquakes in Oklahoma. That's my number one question, actually. Okay, so there's your USGS earthquake map. There's nothing big going on right now. That was a 5.5 near Mexico. You will not be here. And this is just one day. 2.5 plus. That's 40 earthquakes in a day in the world. So things can.
Where's the one above it? Is that one in like?
What about that like red one?
Here?
No,
Yeah. What's that red one? Is that a volcano?
Nebraska.
Yeah, what's that like red one? That's like, yeah, right there.
That
A
just got
volcano just
reported.
went off in Chile.
Did one just show up?
Well, no, but like a volcano just recently went off.
So, there you go. Some interesting stuff. All based on mathematical logarithms. Okay, so moving on to the actual mathematics here. How do you calculate, let's say, let's say you're given a number. This is how we had to do logarithms in the old days.
You didn't have calculators?
Yep,
Back in the.
which I don't actually never experienced. Okay, in your book there would be a table of values and it would give you all these values, right? So you'd be given a problem and it'd say calculate log 7 million.
Wouldn't you just multiply it by like?
So 7 million is, okay, we know this is base 10, right? So we want to get this in like terms of a million, if we could. So this is actually a million times what? 7, right? Can I split that up? Properties of logs. How can I separate these two items so I can calculate them with what I know?
Log 1 million plus log 7.
There it is. Multiplied together, we can add with the same base. Right?
Yes.
Okay, what's log of 1 million? Remember, base 10, 10 to the what?
6.
6. And what's log 7? So we get,
6.8451.
right. That's a no calculator exercise with logarithms. That's how we used to do it all the time. Okay. All right, you okay with that? Okay, how would I evaluate logs? Let's say, without the change of base formula, without your calculator handy, those are necessary, to be honest. This is just an exercise in using log properties. Okay. Can you break that down into a different format? Okay. So these are multiplied, right? So what can I do with them? Split them and log 2 cubed, right? And what can I do with the 3? Move it out front. Okay. A little easier to type in your calculator, although I don't think it's necessary because you could type the first one in too. Okay, so those might show up in your book. Again, we used to have to do this because in the back of the book it would give us the value of log 5 and the value of log 2. We would plug them in by hand and do the arithmetic. Okay, mathematicians just can't let go. So that's how we would do it at this point. We would put the numbers in and do it by hand. Okay, so just using properties of logs there used to be a little bit more important. Okay, let's do a math problem with pH. Okay, let's say some solution contains 7.94 times 10 to the negative 9th moles. Okay, you're a genius. Yeah, I know. Okay, what is the pH?
Better.
A lot of you in the health sciences will actually get to the point where you have to do these problems in chemistry. If you want to be a doctor, Chem 1, Chem 2, Organic Chem 1, Organic Chem 2. Possibly, now you won't have to do physical chemistry. So you'll have at least 4 chem classes there. Biochemistry, there's another one for you. Okay, what's the pH? Right? So where does the number go? Do you have a calculator?
Yep.
That's where you use it. Okay, but you have to type it in right. Okay, so.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, so clear that mess. Log U1 divided by, put it in parentheses just to be safe.
Negative 9.899820502.
Whoop. Delete.
What?
Hey, Caleb, I think you're wrong.
You typed it wrong, my friend.
Wow.
You didn't put in parentheses.
That is-
You didn't put the fraction in parentheses.
Okay, so again, typing errors can come to fruition on these problems, so be careful. Okay, and if you need, there is it's in your book. If you need to go over that again. Right, so pH of 8.1, we're slightly basic, right?
Wait. This is
There you go, I got you.
yeah.
Oh,
About 7. It's a base, isn't it? Acids are 0, bases are.
Oh, I got it.
I do that. Okay, that's it.
No homework.
David, can you go over and get
Oh.
You didn't put up.
Responsible teachers.
No homework, yeah.
I was so bored yesterday, didn't do anything. Sorry, so bored. Testing days are
Dude, I kind of like this. Yeah, exactly.
This guy's so good at bio. God.
there it is.
What are you complaining about? You don't do
I have
that.
to have a special.
It's due
Friday.
Friday.
What are we doing today? Tuesday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Here's your skills with a mouse right there. Bam. Smoke people with a railgun.
That's better than my favorite.
That's not
Railgun?
It's the give. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about.
What do you decide? Something old.